Do you realize I was just sitting here talking with our guest about how close New Year's Day is, and Christmas, of course, 6 days away, New Year's Day, 13 days away. And it strikes me that a lot of people out there, millions of you, maybe not millions in the Magic Valley, there just aren't that many of you, but thousands of you will make New Year's resolutions. And you know what the number one New Year's resolution is? I bet my guest knows what that is, Don.
I think I know where you're going with that. Yeah.
Don Chandler in studio with us this morning. It's coming up on 7 minutes after 9 o'clock. Right now we've got 10. Bill Colley with you as well on News Radio 1310, KLIX, and newsradio1310.com. Number one resolution is to lose weight. And it's also the most failed resolution that people make. One of the reasons you're here is because, number one, first of all, you had the miracle. You lost over 50 pounds.
I did.
I have lost over 50 pounds and just
52 pounds, Bill.
52 it
And you're
was.
looking awesome.
And this has been done because of a real miracle you turned me on to back in the middle of September.
Right.
And tell people a little bit about what it's called, first of all, because I've been getting a lot of questions about the specific name. And we can get into some of the details about what they should know and the actual
Right.
health benefits of this diet, because some
Right.
diets aren't healthy.
It's true. And that's one thing that is so important is that people understand that this is not what we refer to as a yo-yo diet where people lose a bunch of weight and then uh, just put it back on when they start going back to their normal eating habits. This is a diet that is sustainable. And that's such an important aspect of a good, healthy diet is something that is sustainable that after you lose the weight, you can continue to keep it off. And you and I have bragging rights. We can brag about 50 pounds, and you beat me. You've lost 52 pounds, and the real bragging rights come when a year or 2 or 3 years down the road, we've been able to maintain that weight, and that's been my experience. It's been 2 years since I started the diet.
But you did it, and then while you were doing it, you essentially changed your lifestyle. And then and I heard this from a friend of mine. She lives in New Jersey. She dropped about 75 pounds a couple of years ago. She said that it wasn't long before she realized a lot of the foods she had been eating that were not good for her, she just didn't crave them any longer.
Right, and it does have a way of, if you're on a healthy diet plan to change your desires and your cravings and the foods that you eat. And the beautiful thing about this, and by the way, the name of the we've been referring to this plan as the Total Body Transformation System, and that is what we call it. But the name of the company that's done all the research and all the science on this product is called Free Life International, and it's a company that's been around for over 22 years now and literally spent millions of dollars on research and scientific studies to prove the validity of this product and how it really works.
It's worked for the two of us, and there have been other people you've been dealing with. It's worked wonders for them, and people are so. The most frustrating part for people is that last week I ended up on a Saturday morning, and I still have a black and blue spot on top of my foot. I accidentally kicked the ottoman in the middle of the living room with my toes on my right foot. So of course it limits your exercise, and people will say, "Well, do you have to be out there constantly running and yet you got to do some moderate exercise, but you can still lose weight on this diet without having to spend 3 hours a day in the gym."
Yeah, it's not a real rigorous diet that makes it difficult to maintain that kind of lifestyle. The beauty of the total body transformation system is that it is very sustainable. And what it is, for your listeners out there, Bill, is it's a meal replacement program, and it's a very healthy shake that is derived from the goji berry. And the goji berry is a natural product. It's a plant that's grown in China, and within this goji berry is a bioactive molecule, and within that molecule is it's called the Lycium barbarum polysaccharides. That's a big long name, and by the end of our time today together, I want you to be able to say that word, Bill.
I
That's
don't
my
know that I'm
goal.
going to be able to do that.
Yeah, Lycium barbarum polysaccharides, and that we call it LBPs for short. And what this bioactive molecule does is it helps monitor and utilize two hormones in our body.
Mhm.
And one of those hormones is insulin, and the other hormone is cortisol. And the control and utilization of those hormones in our body is essential to healthy weight maintenance.
I had a note one day a couple of weeks ago, I guess, from somebody that I knew, a neighbor, in fact, asking about it and then asking about cost. And I was able to say, look, because I don't go to the grocery store anywhere near as often any longer, because, if you're doing 2 meals a day with shakes instead, you're only eating 1 meal a day. And so you're not out, but my trips to Winco and Costco and Fred Meyer are way down.
Right.
And for that reason, if you look at the cost of what most people would have to deal with, it's about the same as buying those groceries that you're replacing.
It really is. It's for most of our participants, they find that they're not spending any more money. They're just replacing what they're spending their money on. And the average person spends anywhere between $4 and $5 per meal, whether they're eating out or they're buying groceries or however they're getting their source of food. They're spending about $4 to $5, and that's exactly what this shake is. It's about a $4 to $5 investment for each meal that you're consuming, and so it's really a trade. But the great thing is the product is so healthy that it's healthier than likely the foods that anyone is preparing for themselves and eating because of all the healthy nutrients that are within the goji berry.
There's no fat in the diet drink, is what we're saying. I mean, and I've given up, of course, the things that, I'm not eating pizza 5 times a week and I'm not eating potato chips on weekends while I watch football games. And all of those things have been gone. And the other part I discovered was I was full after, you don't notice it maybe until about a weekend, but all of a sudden you realize that the shake and some of the other, the chewies you call them,
Right.
can have those occasionally between meals, that I wasn't walking around feeling hunger pangs. That's the other threat to most people's diets is they just at a point they're pulling their hair out about
That's
that.
right. And the reason for that is because this diet, um, the reason why it's sustainable is because while you are losing the weight, you are on about a 1,500 calorie per day diet. And that's the secret because you're replacing 2 meals a day when you're aggressively trying to lose the weight. And then you get one meal of your own foods. That's what makes it great is we don't say, oh, you can only eat this or that, or you can't have any of this or that. You eat the foods that you enjoy the most, but that are healthy, of course, and you count the calories. And between the 2 shakes a day and the calories that you get with your own one healthy meal, you're consuming about 1,500 calories a day. And that's why this diet is sustainable, is because you're eating a good amount of calories. Some of the yo-yo diets out there, you're put on a very low caloric intake every day, 600 to 700 calories per
Hmm.
day. That's a starvation diet, and it's actually very unhealthy. It destroys the metabolism in the body, and it makes it very difficult for the body to return back to normal metabolism when you start eating normal calories again after you lose the weight around 1,500 or so. And so the body thinks that you're overeating, and it'll actually take those additional calories and store it away as body fat.
And one thing that I, of course, discovered quickly in all of this is most of your, even not just chain restaurants, but most of your local restaurants now have calorie lists for their various dishes on their websites. So I think I was telling you a long time ago, if you go to a Culver's or you go to Chick-fil-A, if you get the grilled chicken sandwich, but only a medium fries and an iced tea, unsweetened iced tea preferably, that you're going to be under that limit, but you're still going to have that delicious meal.
That's right. People are amazed when they start counting calories. Why why we find out really quickly why so many of us Americans are overweight, and it's because we're not counting calories. I've had people say to me, Don, now that I'm counting calories, I realize why I was so overweight. I was consuming 4, 5, 6,000 calories a day,
Hmm.
and during that time, feeling like I was eating healthy, that I wasn't even eating all of the sugary and fatty foods. I thought I was just eating healthy. But what we don't realize is even some of our healthy foods are very high in calories and high in the carbohydrates, and that's what we want to watch. And so it's a matter of portion control, not necessarily you don't eat those foods, but it's just portions. And when you count calories, you realize how many calories are in a baked potato, you know. Well, a baked potato is healthy. There's nothing unhealthy about a potato, but one large Idaho spud can pretty much consume all of your calorie intake for one day if you're not careful, especially with all the toppings on
Oh boy, I know I had some at the Republican convention, and they were just pile high, delicious. But um, we got
Yeah.
about 2.5 minutes. A couple of things. Number one, your contact information obviously is crucial to all of this.
Yes. Yeah. What I would ask is anyone who's interested in knowing more about this to please give me a call. My number is area code 208-731-3560. And once you call me, we'll chat a little bit and we could arrange for a time to meet at my office. I'm located here in Twin Falls on Washington Street North, 483 Washington Street North, or we can arrange to meet in your home, whatever is most convenient, either way. And I'll actually come and meet with you and let you sample these shakes. The two biggest questions people have for me is what do they taste like? You know, they want to know, is this nasty and gross? And you know, Bill, they're actually delicious, aren't they?
Right, and you can throw a handful of blueberries in if you like, and so you get a blueberry shake out of it that
Right.
way.
Yeah, you can flavor them however you want. They come in chocolate, which is usually everybody's favorite,
Mhm.
and vanilla, and then you can flavor the vanilla with blueberries or raspberries or strawberries. It's great with banana in it, and they're actually very delicious.
Got about a minute and a half. Is there anything too that we didn't mention that really people should know?
Well, one thing you said about, New Year's resolutions, the time to start a New Year's resolution, and if you're really serious about it and you want to start that resolution on New Year's Day, you need to call me today because here we are. It's almost the end of the month. Christmas is less than a week away. And if you're really determined to do this New Year's resolution, don't wait till January to get the ball rolling. Let's do it now. Call me today and that way you will be set up. I'll have a chance to meet with each individual between now and New Year's, and January 1st, you're on your diet and you're on your way to just a really successful experience.
And maybe after Christmas dinner, they want to start early. So there's a
Yeah,
possibility they could do
that's
that.
that's true. And you can cheat a little bit on New Year's Day. We're going to let you have fun. This is a sustainable diet. This isn't misery. It's not something that we want people to to you know be miserable during that period of time. We want it to be something that is a good experience.
Gotta ask you the telephone number one more time for people who are tuning in this morning.
It's area code 208-731-3560.
731-3560. And of course, anybody who has any questions can call me after the show or email me if they didn't get that.
Right.
And we'll be talking again soon. I know that coming up after the new year, we want to do another weigh in just to make sure that I'm sticking to the resolution.
Yeah, it's really fun to watch you, Bill, and congratulations on your success.
Well, thank you. You were a good coach. We've got a short break. We've got more coming up on Top Story on News Radio 1310, KLIX, and newsradio1310.com. Hey, got a couple of things I wanted to mention to you as well about a potential United Nations treaty that could have an impact on your life right here in Idaho. That's on the way before the end of the program.